This is the famous case of Ruby Frank, the mommy blogger turned criminal facing 4 counts of second-degree aggravated child abuse in Ivins, Utah. Since 2015, Frank had been running the YouTube channel 8 Passengers, documenting the lives of her husband, and their 6 children.
Come here, Russell. Can you say hello to our passengers? Hey. Are you mad?
Every moment of their lives was documented. Birthday parties, gymnastics practice, and even visits to the doctor.
How tall is she?
So 57 3/4.
But slowly, the videos got more and more sinister.
Be excited to tell them where your name came from, even if you have to fake it. Fake being happy. Okay? I don't know if I can right now.
Now, with brand deals on the line, Frankie got angry when her children didn't consent to being filmed.
And I have thrown them away.
Yes.
That's my homework. Whoa.
Frankie prided herself on being a strict mom, but just how strict was too strict?
All of the discipline takes place off camera.
First, she kept the discipline private. Then things changed.
I'm only going to say it one more time, and then you're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
She withheld food and water from her kids, and sometimes even their beds. According to her kids, the cause of this change had a name, and that was Jody Hildebrandt.
I'm Jody Hildebrandt. So glad you're with us.
At first, Jody was a therapist for one of the Frank children, but soon she became Frank's personal coach, and maybe something more. Jody moved in with the Frank family very quickly, and for Kevin, Frank's husband, something was very wrong.
The focus gradually shifted away from just solely on our children to us as a couple.
Slowly but surely, Jody drove a wedge between Kevin and Ruby.
She took control of something that was very, very important to me.
Soon afterward, the 2 women encouraged Kevin to move out of the house and focus on, quote, his addiction to selfishness. Kevin took their advice.
That I was choosing to trust a licensed professional mental health counselor and my wife, and they gave some terrible counsel.
Now, with the father out of the house, Ruby and Jody were free to parent the children as they wished. And months later, the world would discover just how bad the situation became.
Yes.
Hi, I was just wondering if you could do 2 favors.
This is Russell, Frankie's second youngest child.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station. Well, actually, just one's fine.
What's going on, son? Have a seat there.
It's personal business.
He appeared at his neighbor's house, malnourished and covered in wounds.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs.
His wounds were so extensive that it drove the neighbors to tears.
Okay, this boy has been... This kid has obviously been... I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds. He says what's happened to him is his fault.
We need the police here now.
Minutes later, police arrived at the home where Jody and the Frank family lived.
Open the door! Jody? I need you to step out.
I have my attorney.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not going to step out of the
Step
house.
out of the house. Step out of the house.
Whoa.
We're just gonna see if
Whoa,
anybody
whoa,
else.
whoa.
Is there anybody else home?
Wait a minute, how do you come in my house?
Right there.
The scene inside was eerie.
Hi, I'm a police officer. Are you going for the union here? Hey, you okay? Is it just you in here? I'm Sergeant Tobler. What's your name? I just have one. Where's your sister at? Contact one. You okay?
This was one of Ruby's children, hiding and unresponsive inside the bathroom closet.
Do you need help? I'm not gonna hurt you. Promise. See this right here? It's a badge. It tells me I don't hurt people. I'm just here to make sure you're okay. And I get you if you're scared. I would be too.
The child's situation brought even the most seasoned paramedics to tears. Meanwhile, another team of paramedics listened as Russell told them how he received his injuries. What they learned was gut-wrenching. Ruby and Jody would tie up the children so tight they got rope burns. Then they applied a honey and cayenne pepper mix to cover their wounds. After that, they would wrap the limb in saran wrap and duct tape. At the house, officers try a new tactic to gain the child's trust.
I'll put the skin of home on your ear. You can eat. There it goes.
They ordered her pizza. Suddenly, Ruby Frank arrived home. She was immediately placed under arrest.
Okay, just place your hand behind your back for me. Perfect.
But she didn't say a word.
She is definitely not a talker.
She's not? Not everything on.
Even if I ask her a name or just like, let me ask them about things, she looks at me and goes.
So they contacted someone who would talk, her ex-husband.
So we just spoke with your husband, and he said you guys have 6 kids.
When she finally opened up, it was only to say this.
I'll wait till I have the lawyer.
Jody Hildebrandt, however, was a lot more talkative.
So I trust my attorney. He said, don't say anything. And I said, I have nothing to hide. And he's like, I know that, but just let me be there with you when you talk.
Although they both chose to wait for their attorneys before speaking to police, they had no trouble divulging their secrets over a recorded jail phone call.
Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it.
It didn't matter that they wouldn't confess. The police had more than enough evidence to put them away for life.
Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse that required hospitalization when they were found.
The women's lawyers knew it was a lost cause, so they took a shortcut. They pleaded guilty. With a guilty plea, the trial wouldn't face a jury, and the most gruesome evidence would never be released to the public. On top of a guilty plea, Frank found another way to lower her sentence. She turned on Hildebrandt. She claimed that she saw the light once she was separated from Hildebrandt. Then she broke down in tears and addressed her victims.
To my babies, my 6 little chicks, you are part of me.
But her children don't accept her apology.
She probably genuinely believed everything she said. I don't believe it, though.
This is the moment Ruby Frank learned her fate.
Ms. Frankie served 4 counts, 4 1 to 15-year sentences based on her convictions for 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
Each child abuse charge carries a possible sentence of 1 to 15 years, depending on the severity. The judge made each of these charges consecutive, meaning Frank could serve up to 90 years in prison, or as little as 4. Then it was time for her partner, Hildebrandt, to learn her fate.
The court imposes 4 1 to 15-year sentences to be again served consecutively for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
This was Hildebrandt's only response to her sentence.
And the children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. That statement right there is what's going on with me.
Hildebrandt's children will never be the same after what she did to them. But now what happens when a beloved pop star is outed for targeting 40 children? This is Austin Jones, a YouTuber musician charged with receipt of child pornography in Chicago, Illinois. Jones gained his fame from singing covers of popular songs on YouTube in the mid-2010s. With his boy band voice and familiar hairstyle, Jones quickly gained a massive following. But fame brought out a dark side in Jones, and he only showed it to a few of his fans. While on tour, Jones exchanged messages with his young teenage fans asking them to take sexually explicit videos of themselves and send them to him. When one fan refused him, This was his reply.
Hannah, I just actually really do think you're pretty, and I just wanted to make you feel special. And, I'm sorry you're mad at me.
The fan posted his reply publicly on social media, along with her entire story. Soon, other fans corroborated her story, exposing Facebook message chats in which Jones asked the children to take their undergarments off and spread, and to prove that they're his biggest fans. A total of 6 girls between 14 and 15 came to the police with explicit videos he forced them to share. But police found evidence of him attempting to entice over 30 girls. Jones was 25 at the time. As soon as his crimes were public, Jones canceled all remaining tour dates. After weeks of silence, Jones posted a new video to YouTube recounting his side of the story.
On that drive, the only thing I did was look at my phone and look at all the hate and death threats.
He says the hate combined with his diagnosis of depression led him in a downward spiral.
That entire ride home, I read those comments and I began researching different suicide methods.
His family noticed his mood and allegedly admitted him to a mental health clinic as soon as they got back to Chicago. According to Jones, all he could think about was getting out of the hospital and saying this to his fans.
I had no internet connection, I had no connection to social media, so I couldn't put out a statement. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to confront it immediately.
In the world of YouTube apology videos, his seemed oddly complete. At least it would have been if he hadn't blatantly lied. But just 5 minutes into the video, Jones launches into this tragic backstory. He claims his sister's death, among other traumatizing events, are the reason for his perverted actions.
Losing a sibling for anybody is tragic, and going through it at such a young age was very difficult for me.
Jones's life does have many tragic elements.
About a month after my father passed away, my grandfather passed away, and I was very close to my grandfather.
Family loss is incredibly traumatic, but it can't excuse nor explain Jones's crimes. But wait, Jones isn't finished. He brings out his own poor mental health into this equation, touching on a sensitive subject that he's aware many of his fans struggle with as well.
After that happened, that's when I began self-harming. I used to my wrists.
Then Jones launches into a predictable monologue.
A few months ago, I started going back to therapy for this specific reason, because I regretted it so much, and I couldn't move past it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop feeling like absolute shit for what I had done.
But if you're thinking the video was unbelievable so far, just wait until you hear his closing plea.
That at least some of you will possibly forgive me. And if you don't forgive me, at least maybe give me a chance. Because I am so much better than the terrible decisions I made when I was desperate for attention. I'm better than that. I'm a different person. I've completely changed from all of that.
In the few weeks since he was exposed, Jones swears he's a completely different person than the man who committed those crimes, but the law didn't care. Jones was tried on child pornography charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison.
YouTube star with a large teenage following is headed to prison.
Jones's audience was shocked to see their star stoop so low. But in Vitali Zdorovetski's case, a pair of handcuffs were long overdue. This is Vitali Zdorovetsky, a Russian-American YouTuber who's facing charges of attempted theft, harassment, and unauthorized filming in Taguig City in the Philippines. Vitali became famous on YouTube for his prank videos.
Man, move that out of here, man. Are you out of your mind?
At first, these pranks were harmless.
Huh?
What? What's up for? What?
But soon enough, each video was crazier than the last. His pranks became not just uncomfortable for his victims, they became straight up illegal.
Put your hands here. Check it out, see? I'm gonna put them in the front.
Do you know me?
Do I know you? No.
Vitali snuck onto the ground of the Hollywood sign in California, and he was gonna climb it. He continues to climb the sign, despite numerous warnings from police.
I'm sorry. I'm coming down.
Vitali gets hit with trespassing charges for this stunt. It cost him a $1,000 fine and a potential for 6 months of jail time, although his final sentence is undisclosed. But that's not the first time Vitali's pranks got him into legal trouble, and it wouldn't be the last. During the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Vitali planned a prank that would go down in history. He became a streaker in multiple soccer, basketball, and baseball games. But he couldn't stop there.
I'm gonna go climb down because I think they're sending helicopters for me.
Next, he went to Egypt and climbed the Pyramid of Giza.
Absolutely breathtaking. This is incredible, guys.
The pyramid's sandy stones make climbing a potentially deadly task. No police officers could follow him up there.
I got it. I'm not gonna run.
As soon as he returned, Vitali was thrown into an Egyptian jail. He faced fines and a short jail time, but soon enough, he was back out. This time, though, he focused on a different target: the Philippines. He plays pranks on the people, causing a public disturbance.
I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay.
In the Philippines, causing unjust vexation and alarm is actually a crime, and so is filming a police officer without consent.
I have a very important question for you. Can I shove this up your... What? Can I put this in your...
But that's not all. Within days, Vitali's found and arrested. This time he wouldn't get out so easily. Neither the US nor Russia would accept his deportation, so Vitali had to go to trial in the Philippines. He faces up to 24 years in a Filipino prison. But he doesn't seem worried. Vitali maybe crossed a line he couldn't uncross, and he lost his freedom and his followers. But now what happens when a famous influencer has a very public fall from grace? This is the case of Nikita Dragon, who's facing charges for disorderly conduct and felony battery on a peace officer in Miami, Florida.
Hi Dragons! What's up? It's Nikita and welcome back to my channel.
Nguyen, who goes by Nikita Dragon on YouTube, has more than 3.5 million subscribers. Since 2013, she had built her audience doing makeup tutorials and sharing about her life as a transgender woman. But for the most part, her videos were teen-friendly. But every year, Nikita threw a birthday party that was a little more adult. In 2022, one of those parties got a little too wild. While on vacation in Miami, hotel security guards caught Nguyen ordering a drink at a hotel bar while completely nude. But when asked to put her outfit back on, she became belligerent and ran away.
Miami Beach Police, we need to talk to you. Open the door, please.
It took minutes of knocking before she finally opened the door.
Is everything okay?
Obviously not. They have to talk to you.
About the disturbance from earlier.
Oh my gosh.
And I understand you felt
What
earlier,
happened?
nothing happened. But we just came here to speak to you about your incident from earlier.
You don't speak to me.
We want to let you know,
Yes?
as a collective,
Are you sorry?
I'm not sorry for anything.
Oh.
For you threw water on me, man. All right.
Then, seconds later, Nikita opened the door again.
I'm gonna.
Did I not put you out? Do you want
If we
more?
get one more company,
Don't do that. You're gonna go to jail if you do that.
If you get, see what I'm saying? This is
Don't do that.
Time,
Don't do
dog.
that.
Oops.
Come here.
Come on. Oh no. Oops.
She was arrested for battery on a peace officer. Surprisingly, she didn't care about any of it, except this.
Let go of this.
Please.
Let go of this.
Say please. Say please.
You're gonna escalate this.
No, I'm not. Let's go.
For absolute no reason.
Where's escalating?
She had her purse in her hands and would do anything to hold on to it.
Listen to me.
Yes.
We're giving you a lawful order.
Okay.
You are under arrest.
Okay, great.
We're asking you to let go of that.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to. Take it from me.
Okay. You understand that you're under arrest?
Yeah, that's fine. Take it from me.
But the situation quickly got uncomfortable.
Take the bag from the hands.
Don't do that.
I'm not. Okay, then
Don't
take
do
it.
that.
Okay.
There's no need for that. Don't do that. You do not have to do that. What are you doing? Can you please let go of the bag?
When the role play didn't work, she tried another tactic.
Don't make me ask somebody to smite your ass. But
please don't do that.
Quita silencio. Leon, silencio. Silencio. Silencio.
Things couldn't get more dramatic. Or could they?
Oh no. Oh, I fell.
Please get up.
No, what did I fell? I think I'm gonna have to be carried.
Please get up.
Oh.
After that, Nguyen is surprisingly compliant. The next time she opens her mouth, she said something the officers never thought they'd hear.
Okay.
Thank you guys for at least letting me get ready for my mugshot. Thank you.
While waiting to be processed at the station, Nikita gave the officers a free concert. She sang a song. And another.
Take me higher. I'm not scared of the flame.
And again.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames, they got hotter.
And one more.
This is a man's world.
Then out of nowhere, Nikita goes off on the officer.
Damn, girl, you girl, but not even in a good way. You're built like a brick.
At least mine is real.
Mine feels real and God loves
Yours
it.
is not real.
The officer's comeback was so brutal that Nikita immediately pulled the victim card.
Oh, you're being so mean to a trans girl. I can't believe you as a woman are not going to validate my
You're
womanhood.
the one that started it. I was
You're
paying
challenging my
attention.
womanhood. Let's go. You challenged my... Sit the down. You want to challenge my womanhood? Bitch, I don't even got to get up out of here. What's up?
If anyone's doing any invalidating, it's Nikita herself. Then she went right back to insults.
You're ugly. You're fat. Nobody wants you.
So far, Nikita has sang, yelled, insulted, laughed, and even screamed at the officers. But here's one thing she hasn't done yet.
You tried a transgender girl and you would question my womanhood. You made me go into the men's bathroom.
You walked right into the men's bathroom.
me
Don't
go into
even.
the men's
Don't switch anything because everything's on camera. You walked right in there. Oh, okay. You walked right in there.
Days later, during her bond hearing, Nikita showed a surprising change of heart.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the staff. They've been very lovely.
All right, let me just write this out.
She was completely compliant with the judge's complaints, even thanking her for her work. But Nikita had one request for the judge.
Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?
Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but they should make a proper accommodation for you. You should be in a separate area.
Nguyen's disappointment was obvious, but she didn't have time to dwell on it. Nikita quickly paid her $2,000 bond and was released from jail. All charges against her were eventually dropped. In our next case, an internet guru's dirty little secret will send 6 people to jail and scar another for life. This is German Abraham Loetta Costa, a Mexican YouTuber and motivational guru who's facing kidnapping charges in Chihuahua, Mexico. Loetta, just 23 years old, rose to fame as a motivational speaker and entrepreneur.
Mi nombre es Germán Loera. Soy emprendedor y quiero compartir contigo información que quizá te haga no volver a ver el mundo con los mismos ojos. Tenemos 2 opciones: morir o innovar.
He was invited to speak in conferences around the country and quickly became one of the top rising stars of his generation. However, that all came to a crash in 2018. For years, Loetta had secretly been leading an underground kidnapping ring on the streets of Chihuahua. He and 5 other men had kidnapped various women and held them for ransom. But on February 28, 2018, Loetta made a fatal mistake. 33-year-old lawyer Tanya Denise had just left for work when 2 men grabbed her and stuffed her into an SUV. Then they drove her to a house that was being rented under Loetta's name. Together, Loetta and the men demanded over $2 million in Bitcoin for her safe return. Loetta sent many encrypted messages to her family. Using those messages, the police were able to track down the hostage takers, free Denise, and finally put the delinquents behind bars. Loetta's friends and family were shocked when they found out about his part in the kidnapping.
Sigo sin creerlo, no puedo creer esto, lamento mucho este acto, de verdad.
He tells reporters that even though his friend had been MIA for 2 months, nothing in his behavior hinted at what he was about to do.
Sobre hacer las cosas bien, compartíamos sobre compartir cosas positivas a nuestros seguidores.
Due to a rise in kidnappings in Mexico over the past few decades, the Mexican authorities recently doubled the prison sentence for that crime, meaning Loetta was in for a nasty surprise. The judge sentenced Loetta and his goonies to 50 years each for the crime. Loetta's actions were so dumb, they're almost unbelievable. But how dumb can a person be to think that they're smarter than an entire nation? This is Daniel Sancho Bronchalo, a Spanish YouTube chef who's charged with premeditated murder, concealing a corpse, and destruction of property.
Muy buenas disfrutones, bienvenidos un día más a mi canal.
Bronchalo got famous on YouTube thanks to his recipes, good looks, and, of course, his father, Rodolfo Sancho, a famous European actor. In August of 2023, Sancho and his alleged lover, Edwin Arrieta Arteaga, flew to the tourist island of Koh Phangan in Thailand. During the trip, Sancho admits that he and Arrieta got into a fight.
To raise my voice, he took, and I stood up, and he took a few steps back.
Okay, few steps back.
And I was like speaking to him like
louder,
heavy. And I go boom.
Later, Sancho claimed that the fight began after he refused Arrieta's sexual advances.
He beat me and grabbed me, you know, grab me.
Grab you.
No, grab me, and I was like, I take him all the way up here.
He slammed Arrieta's head against the counter, striking him at the very place where his spine meets his skull.
How to do it? Grab like, boom. Okay.
Arrieta immediately started to bleed out. After Arrieta lost consciousness, Sancho dragged him to the shower to clean up the crime scene.
You shower me?
And I started like the shower because there was a lot of blood coming out. I put the hottest water, so it didn't coagulate and stick. You know.
Sancho claims the murder was an accident, but if this was an accident, why did he have trash bags and various weapons on the top bunk of their hotel room?
Getting the bags, I bring the bags, I bring the hacksaw, I bring the machete.
From there, Sancho turned Arrieta face down and began to dismember him. He loaded the body parts into trash bags and dumped them at 7 different sites around the island. It's rumored that Sancho planned to commit the murder in Thailand because he believed their police force was less capable than the Spanish police force. But he was quickly proven wrong. After disposing the body parts, Sancho went to the nearest police station to report his friend missing. Little did he know, locals had already found the bags, and the police had been waiting for him. A judge deemed Sancho guilty of murder, dismemberment, and destruction of property. Because of his cooperation, the judge chose not to inflict the death penalty. Instead, he'll spend life inside of a Thai prison. Sancho heartlessly killed his lover with his bare hands. But in this next case, the killer uses quite an unusual weapon. This is Sarah Boon, charged with second-degree murder in Winter Park, Florida. Boon was in a relationship with 42-year-old Jorge Torres, and according to police reports, both parties had been arrested for domestic violence against each other. But it all came to a head with this 911 call.
But kind of type C kind of thing. So
I fell asleep and I woke up and he was dead in the suitcase, so I don't know what happened.
Boon called the police in a panic.
Yes, like he had like blood coming out of his mouth, and I don't know, like he had the aneurysm on one side.
This is what Boon claims happened.
We had a bottle of wine last night. Okay. So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay. So he gets in the suitcase.
They're briefly interrupted, then continue their chat on the sidewalk.
And at some point you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep.
Where did you fall asleep at?
Upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
Okay.
She said she only realized her mistake the next morning.
Yes. I was awake. But then I finally decided to come downstairs at like 12:30-ish, whatever it is. And I was like, I forgot he was in the suitcase. And he wasn't moving. Nothing was happening. So I unzipped it, took him out and started doing CPR on him.
But Sarah Boon lied. And when police went through her phone, that's when they found the incriminating evidence. In the video, Boon laughs at Torres as he slowly runs out of air.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do and you choke me.
Sarah. Sarah.
During the autopsy, police found even more concerning evidence.
He also had, like on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on like his head and skull. I have no idea.
They found evidence of blunt force trauma to the head, skull, shoulders, and back. In that claim, Boon may have been telling the truth. Due to the location of the injuries, police theorized that Boon actually locked Torres in the suitcase while upstairs, then pushed him down the stairs when he was still trapped inside. That would also explain why the suitcase was facing upside down in the video. Allegedly, it was taken just after Torres rolled down the stairs. As if she knew she were trapped, Boon changed her strategy.
I've been good. I don't think you all understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me. So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep.
She switched her focus from the night of the murder to Jorge's history of domestic violence, not disclosing her own arrests.
At one point, I started documenting everything. Okay. So you all will see in my pictures, bloody fingers, split foreheads, he split my nose. I've got this.
But when the police confronted her with the suitcase video, she played dumb.
No, I don't remember that.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me.
But investigators were done with being nice.
So you just
I
left him there
didn't
to
kill him.
You left him there to teach him a lesson?
I didn't mean to leave him there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You got up and walked away. How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole, knowing that it's there. He'll get out no problem. Because you don't.
Then he doesn't. But you don't go check on him. You say you're up for 30 minutes and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
Then Boon got even more defensive.
Again.
I would never do that to George.
You did.
Not intentionally.
After the interrogation, Boon gave up trying to convince the officers. Considering her obvious frustration during that interrogation, Boon had a surprising reaction to her mandatory prison stay while waiting for trial.
You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest. If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord.
However, she claimed Jorge's abuse was the reason she let him suffocate.
I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him. In all of it and still.
Next, she made a subtle ploy for pity.
My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me please to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long.
She begged the jury to find her innocent, but while waiting for him to deliberate, Boon made another request to the court.
Ms. Boone's request for snacks, the Or Tennis motion is denied. Ms. Boone is being provided all the same services as to any other inmate.
Boon would have to go hungry, and she made her dissatisfaction loud and clear. But if she thought that was disappointing, wait until the judge reads her sentence.
Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life.
Boon will spend life behind bars for her crimes.